After 60, your legs can lose 30% of their strength before you even notice it's happening. Your brain adapts so slowly that you think everything's fine, until one day you can't get up from a low chair without using your hands, or your legs give out on a curb. When your legs weaken, they stop catching you when you stumble, and that's when falls happen. I'm going to show you 3 movements that take just 2 minutes a day to reverse years of decline and protect the strength you need to stay independent. These aren't complicated gym exercises. They're simple, powerful moves you can do at home that rebuild circulation, balance, and the muscle control that keeps you upright and confident. Movement 1. Alternate heel raises. The first system that breaks down after 60 is circulation in your lower legs. And when that happens, your feet get cold easily, your steps feel heavy, and your ankles become unstable. Your calves act like a second heart, pumping blood back up from your feet. But when they weaken, that pump stops working efficiently. Poor circulation means less oxygen reaches your leg muscles and joints, which makes them weaker and stiffer over time. Weak ankles are also the #1 reason seniors lose balance and fall, because when you step on uneven ground or catch your toe on a rug, it's your ankle that has to react and stabilize you instantly. Here's the movement that fixes both. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and rest your hands lightly on a wall or chair for balance. Slowly lift your right heel as high as you can, rising onto the ball of your foot, and shift your weight slightly to the right side. Hold that position for 2 seconds, now repeat on the left side. Alternate between right and left for about 15 to 20 total lifts, breathing slowly and steadily the whole time. You'll feel your calves warming up, which means they're reactivating and pushing blood back through your system. The weight transfer is what makes this special because it trains your body to shift smoothly from side to side, which is exactly what you do when you walk or step over something. This movement also strengthens your Achilles tendon and improves ankle stability, so you're less likely to roll or twist your ankle when you're walking on uneven surfaces. If you need an easier version, keep both hands on the wall for full support and lift slowly without worrying about the weight shift at first. For a harder version, use just one finger on the wall, or eventually try it with no hands at all to challenge your balance even more. Do this for 40 seconds each day, and over time your steps will feel lighter, steadier, and more controlled. That handles circulation and ankle stability, but if you stop there, you're only fixing 1/3 of the problem. The next movement targets the muscles that actually keep you upright and protect your knees from buckling. Movement 2. Wall sit. The second issue is that your quadriceps, the big muscles on the front of your thighs, lose strength faster than almost any other muscle after 60. And when they weaken, your knees stop being protected. Your quads act like shock absorbers for your knees, taking the pressure off the joint every time you stand, sit, or climb stairs. When they're weak, all that pressure goes straight into the knee itself, which is why so many seniors feel knee pain when they stand up or walk for too long. Weak thighs also mean you can't recover your balance quickly if you stumble, because these are the muscles that catch you and hold you steady before you fall. The wall sit is one of the most effective ways to rebuild this strength, using just your body weight and a wall. Here's how it works. Stand with your back against a wall and your feet about 2 feet forward. Slowly slide down the wall until your knees bend at about 90 degrees, like you're sitting in an invisible chair. Keep your head, shoulders, and back flat against the wall, and hold this position for 30 to 40 seconds while breathing slowly through your nose. If you're just starting, even 15 seconds is great. Don't hold your breath, just let the air flow naturally. You'll quickly feel your thighs burning, and that's your quadriceps working hard to support your body weight. This exercise builds what's called isometric endurance, which is the ability to hold your body steady under pressure. That's the exact kind of strength your legs need when you lose your footing or stumble unexpectedly, because it trains your muscles to react and stabilize before a fall happens. If you need an easier version, slide only halfway down instead of reaching the full 90-degree angle, or place your hands lightly on your thighs for a bit of support. For a more advanced version, raise your arms straight in front of you while holding the position to challenge your core and posture even further. Doing this once or twice a day will make your legs stronger and more reactive over time, while reducing knee discomfort when you stand or walk. Now you've got circulation and strength covered, But there's one more critical piece: the movement that trains the exact action you need for stairs, curbs, and real-world terrain. This is where everything comes together. Movement 3. Step-ups. The third problem is that walking alone doesn't train your legs for the real-world movements that keep you independent. Walking is flat and repetitive, but life isn't. You need to climb stairs, step up onto curbs, get in and out of cars, and navigate uneven ground safely. These movements require functional leg power, which means your glutes, quads, and hamstrings all working together to lift your body weight upward and forward while you balance on one leg. When you lose this kind of strength, stairs become scary, curbs feel dangerous, and you start avoiding situations where you might have to step up or climb, which shrinks your world and makes you more dependent on others. Step-ups are the single best movement to restore this functional strength because they mimic exactly what your body does when you climb stairs or step over something. Here's how to do them. Find a sturdy step or low stair that's about 4 to 6 inches high. The bottom step of your staircase works perfectly. Stand facing the step with your feet hip-width apart. Place your right foot fully on the step, making sure your entire foot is planted securely, then press through your right heel and step up, bringing your left foot to meet your right on the step. Step back down with your left foot first, then your right, returning to the starting position. That's one repetition. Do 10 to 12 reps leading with your right leg, then switch and do 10 to 12 leading with your left leg. This movement engages your glutes, quads, and hamstrings more actively than any sitting or standing exercise, and it promotes the kind of forward and upward strength that directly improves your stair climbing ability and confidence. Step-ups also challenge your balance and coordination because each time you step up, you're balancing on one leg momentarily, which trains your proprioception and neuromuscular control. This is the kind of real-world strength that keeps you independent and confident when you're navigating your environment. If you're just starting, use a lower step. Even 2 to 3 inches is fine, and keep one hand on a wall or railing for balance. Focus on slow, controlled movements rather than speed. As you become stronger, gradually increase the step height to 6 or 8 inches, and eventually try reducing your hand support, or even crossing your arms over your chest to challenge your balance further. Practice this daily and you'll notice how much easier stairs become, how confident you feel stepping up onto curbs, and how much more power you have in your legs during everyday movements. These 3 movements, just 2 minutes total, address every system that's been invisibly declining: circulation, strength, balance, and neuromuscular control. But let me tell you about someone who put this into practice and what happened. I want to tell you about Robert, a 67-year-old man who came to me 6 months ago. Robert had been active his whole life. He walked every day, played golf on weekends, and considered himself in pretty good shape for his age. But he started noticing small things that didn't feel right. Getting out of his car felt harder, and he'd use the armrest to push himself up without thinking about it. The stairs at his daughter's house left him winded halfway up. He'd grip the railing tightly going down because he didn't trust his legs anymore, and that feeling scared him more than he wanted to admit. Robert didn't think he had a real problem because the changes happened so gradually. He just thought, well, I'm getting older. This is normal. But when I had him do a simple chair stand test, standing up from a chair without using his hands, he could barely do it once. He pushed hard, struggled, and barely made it up. He was shocked because in his mind, he was still fine. That's when he realized how much strength he'd lost without noticing. I showed him these exact 3 exercises: alternate heel raises with weight transfer, wall sits, and step-ups. 2 minutes a day. That's all. Robert was skeptical at first because it seemed too simple to make a real difference, but he committed to doing them every morning, right after his coffee. He set a timer on his phone and made it part of his routine. Within 3 weeks, Robert noticed he wasn't using his hands to get out of his car anymore. He'd just stand up naturally the way he used to. By week 6, he walked up his daughter's stairs without holding the railing and without getting winded, and his daughter noticed the change immediately. She said, "Dad, what are you doing differently? You seem stronger." At the 2-month mark, I had him retest the alternate heel raises. He went from barely 1 repetition to 12 clean repetitions without using his hands. His leg strength had increased by over 300% in just 8 weeks. But here's what Robert told me that really stuck with me. He said, "I didn't realize how much I'd been limiting myself until I got my strength back. I was avoiding things without even knowing it. I'd take the elevator instead of stairs. I'd ask my wife to grab things from the basement. I'd skip events if I knew there were steps involved. Now I feel like I can do anything again. I'm not worried about falling or looking weak. I just move." That shift in confidence is what these 2 minutes a day can do. They don't just rebuild strength, they rebuild your sense of control, your freedom, and your ability to live your life without fear or limitation. What happened for Robert is possible for your body too if you start at the right level and give it time to adapt and grow stronger. Losing leg strength after 60 doesn't just make you weaker, it steals your independence, your confidence, and your ability to move through the world safely. The 3 movements you just learned, heel raises, wall sits, and step-ups, rebuild circulation, strength, balance, and neuromuscular control in just 2 minutes a day. You're not too old and you're not done improving. Your body still responds when you train it consistently and intelligently. Tell me which of these 3 movements you're starting with today, and if you want more routines to stay strong and independent after 60, make sure you're subscribed.